D, wait for it, rightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So, I finished the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery, and man, what a snooze fest. I'm really disappointed with this show. I really am. I liked season 1 and season 2. I've said this plenty of times before, but season 3 was such a big letdown for me. Like I was so disappointed with season 3, and it looks like season 4 is going in the same route, because with season 3, it was the burn was the big baddie kind of thing of the season, and the big mystery. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting concept, and like all the theories that I heard were better than the actual result, and everything leading up to the burn reveal was a big letdown, like a bore fest and everything. And I feel like this is going the same route, like the anomaly, like in the burn. And I won't pick on the guy, the character that caused the burn, because one of you commented, and I want to mention that, but one of you commented, and I don't want to say your names because I don't know how you feel about mentioning, I don't know how people feel about mentioning their names when they comment in videos and stuff, because I don't want to attack. I don't want anybody to attack them or whatnot. If we have difference of opinions, totally cool. Okay. If you like this show, good on you. So far, this season is not impressing me whatsoever. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So the burn ended up being a big nothing burger. And I feel like the anomaly, or the DMA, is going to be also a big, like, I feel like it's just going to be something so stupid that, like, it's going to be something like it's Q's butthole. That's what it is. Q's butthole shooting out dark matter. That's gross. Anyways, so I just didn't like it, and I'm not gonna. They said I have a tendency to pick on Adira and Gray, and I'm not trying to pick on any character. I just don't like those characters, and I don't think that they're. But hold on, I wrote it down. What did you say? You said because you can be highly entertaining until the bitchiness crosses over the line. My bitchiness. That's so funny. I can get a little bitchy sometimes. You guys crack me up. I also want to thank you guys for showing up for these little reviews and everything, because I do really appreciate it. It says something that you actually care about what I'm saying. I mean, yeah. Anyways, back to this episode. Okay, so I think I figured out what it is, because before I said that this is no longer a science fiction allegory adventure show, that it's just about people and their feelings and getting over their feelings and their trauma. And this episode hit it hard and everything, because we lost a crew member, not by death or whatever, but I'll get into that. But I also think that when it comes to Star Trek, it's got a maturity to it, and it's got a humanity to it. And I feel like Discovery, especially season 3 and season 4, is really missing that, because I also think that it's missing the family unit. I think that when you look at other Star Trek shows, you really get a sense of a family unit when it comes to the crew of whatever Enterprise you're talking about. And with this show, I don't get the family unit. I mean, you get Michael Burnham. Maybe she's the mom, but at the same time, I'm all like, I don't get, like, Michael Burnham. I don't get her as a leader. I just get her as, this person that constantly gets everything right. And even in this episode, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and it's for me, I go, it's our failures that make us who the people we are, not our accomplishments. But the thing is, Michael Burnham, what failures has she had in this show? She's solved and conquered everything. So I'm like, maybe she needs an L every now and then. All right, so I just want to say one more thing, and then we'll get started on this breakdown. So if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, they always get pushed far back to that back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. I also thank you for returning. I really do. This is, I do enjoy that you guys, come and listen to my nonsense and everything. But I do love Star Trek. I love the universe and all that stuff. But I'm trying to love this show. I really am. But like, I did like season 1 and season 2. I don't know what they're doing here and everything. So, okay. I'm going to stop yammering because that took forever to get that out and everything. All right, let's get started on this review or this breakdown. So it starts out on the Discovery, and Michael Burnham is doing a voiceover, and she's basically saying how they're all stressed out and they need, she orders the crew to get some R&R, and Tilly here is contemplating because she's got some stuff going on with her feelings and trauma and all that stuff. And so then we have crew member. There's Linus. I always wonder what happened to Linus. This show doesn't have enough aliens. Like, they have aliens in the background, but not in the forefront in the crew and everything. Like, we have Saru, but put Linus back on the bridge, yo. Put him on the bridge. I mean, that one guy, apologies, I needed a little libation. I don't know. I just feel like we need some more aliens, more prosthetics and everything, which we got a little bit of that in this. Okay. So Stamets is trying to work on the DMA. I hate that they call it the DMA. What is up with this generation and like making like everything like 3 letters and everything? LOL, BRB, JK. So anyways, so then she talks about how Book is, the mind meld help, but he's still not all there. So then Saru and Burnham are talking in her ready room, and he talks about how President Rillick, I wrote it down in my notes, but I don't know if I wrote it down right. Anyways, Rillick is asked for them to come to Navarre for the summit. She's requested that they come to Navarre, and she's all like, well, this takes precedent. And he's all like, it sounded like it was an order, not a request, like, get your butt over here kind of thing. And he talks about how the Admiral got a worm, a little bug, and it's gonna be 24 hours to get over that kind of thing. A lie. It was a lie and everything. So she's all like, okay, I guess we're going. So then we get to Tilly and the doctor are talking, and she talks about how she always thought that her career at Starfleet was a straight line to the captain's chair, and that that's been disrupted kind of thing. And she's done all these little baby steps to step out of her comfort zone. And she needs, she didn't say she needs a challenge, but it sounded like she needed more of a challenge. And he's all like, you need to clear your mind, before you can make a decision kind of thing. And she's like, I can never clear my mind kind of thing. So he makes the suggestion of going to Starfleet Academy, which she mentioned in the last episode. So I was like, of course they did. She's going to go to the Academy. And he says that Cronenberg, I love David Cronenberg, but he plays Dr. Kovich. I'm coming and I'm recording right now, and I shouldn't have said anything to him because I do that shit, and then he starts that bullshit. He just wants me to come in there and find him. So, and I love David. Again, I love David Cronenberg, but I feel like this is kind of a little bit below him, So he suggests that she go to the Academy to help out some cadets with an exercise. Shoot, I didn't write down what exactly they were doing. A training exercise. Man, that's all it was, huh? So then back at Dira's quarters, her and Gray are talking, and Gray is doing these finger exercises to get his mind and body connected kind of thing, because that's everything he says. I just want to say, I hate Gray's hair. It's a bad choice. It's a bad fashion choice. His choice, but a bad one. I'm sorry. Like, I know the commenter said that I feels like I'm picking on them and being bitchy. That made me laugh. Yeah, it's his choice, but it's a bad one. It was a bad one. This haircut is the mullet is never a good style. I don't know why everybody thinks it's a good style. Anyway, so um and Adira's all like, well, one of my past lives was already taught at the Starfleet Academy before the burn, so I already have that experience. And Gray's all like, it's not about, the fact that it's about adding new experiences as a host. And then Gray is going to go into the mess hall to see what the crew is. They've set up new games or whatever, and he wants to go check it out. And I got this. The thing that I liked about this conversation was you can totally tell that Adira is an introvert, because they mention that they have to scan soup before they can eat it, which I think I'm like, why would you need to scan? So weird. That's so stupid. That was a dumb line. Whoever wrote that's not very smart. And so and then but Gray and Adira is all like, how are you gonna meet? You don't know anybody. And Gray's all like, I'm gonna go into the mess hall, say hi, and then I'll know somebody. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And I connect with Gray in that sense because I'm an extrovert. Like, I have no problem being like talking to people. Like, if you're I'll be like, hey, what's your name, what's going on? Everybody's got a story that I haven't heard before, and I would love to hear your story. So I like that about Gray. There, I said something nice, okay, except that hair. Hair looks off. Both of them have bad hair choices. Anyways, so so Adira says that they don't know if they can do new things without Gray. And Gray's all like, well, you'll learn, and I like that too, because Adira is very clingy, in my opinion, and they need to stop that. Like, nobody likes that. And Gray's right. You need to learn how to step out on your own and be an adult. so then we go back to the academy, and Tilly and Adira are they go up to Cronenberg. Kovich is the character's name, but I see David Cronenberg because I love David Cronenberg. I just love him. He's so great. Anyways, his movies can gross me out though. Anyways, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting all right. So they're talking, and he is basically like, Adira, go stand with the other cadets. And he talks to Tilly about how that because now that they've got everybody coming into Federation, all these new people, they've never met anybody besides their own species. And so it's really hard for them to connect and everything. So hopefully this training exercise will get them to talk to each other, cooperate, so they can start this whole Starfleet kind of thing. So then they're on here, and I didn't write down this character's name, the guy in front. And I tried to look up the actor, but IMDb is slow on the get-go. I'll tell you what, can these companies release who the actors are and stuff? And IMDb, why aren't you like, why do I have to watch the credits to get this stuff? I didn't write it down. Anyway, so all the shows, she's explaining everything about what they're going to do. They're going to go to a desert moon on a planet, and they're going to connect with a starship. Apologies. And everything. And, so then she's like, right out now, why don't we try to introduce ourselves and tell a little story kind of thing. So she's to break the ice. She's like, my name is Tilly, and hold on, I'm trying to get a good. That's not. She's sitting in the chair when she tells us, but she's like, my name's Tilly, and she's like, my first training exercise, I dropped a utility kit down a methane gas vent, and. And everybody's like, oh, okay, look at you kind of thing. I do appreciate that they had a Tellarite on here, because as I said before, there's not enough aliens with like the thing. And I don't remember the name of the makeup specialist guy, whatever. But I remember seeing an interview or something like that where he said because he did a lot of Star Trek aliens, but he said like the most important thing with the prosthetics and creating an alien was the eyes. And I couldn't agree more, because like this guy, his eyes were definitely like, I was like focused, like so hardcore. But I love prosthetics and practical effects when it comes to Star Trek. And even though this is a humanoid with the body kind of humanoid, I'm glad that they put like Linus humanoid, but I love seeing practical effects aliens, and I wish that this show did more of that. You know, they like to do these special effects CGI aliens, but I'm all like, stop, just do the practical effects. I love it, you love it too, kind of thing. And like the Orion, they put an Orion on here, and I'm all like, yeah, that's not hard. You just made him green. You painted him green. I could do that. I could do that in like, 20 minutes, paint my whole body green. Anyways, so then they get into some kind of accident. I don't know if they explained it. I don't think they did explain what exactly happened, but they didn't end up by the desert moon. They ended someplace else. And I love Tilly. She's like, brace for impact. And I'm like, oh, the driver dude's dying. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, he's a red shirt, but with a yellow shirt on. Anyways, so they land, and he dies. She tries to save him, but he dies. So then they open up the chute to see where they're at, and they are on an ice planet. They are not on the desert planet. So they're like, what are we going to do, kind of thing. So like, we're going to get, she's like, you said you were a pilot. Get on the see if we can fly, kind of thing, get on the comms, see what's going on. She says she's never met anybody besides human before, because she grew up on Titan. The Tellarite grew up in an emerald chain controlled area. And so he bumps into the Orion kid, and he's all like, yo, I'm working here and everything. And they kind of get in a fight. And she's like, we're not doing this right now, which I'm all like, that's so true. And, I read some stories, whatever, like somebody's caught in an avalanche and people start fighting. And I'm all like, man, that's so crazy. So then they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And they're like, we're not going to do this. We're going to get through this kind of thing. So then over on Navarre, which I just want to say, I really liked this shot, but only got like one shot. Like they don't, that's the problem. There's so many problems with this show. But anyways, so they're talking and they're ready to sign the thing. And President Relic is all like, we're so happy to have Navarre join the Federation. And the president of Navarre, she's all like, we want to join, but we would like to make an amendment to our deal. And she's all like, we would like to add that we, at any point in time, can leave the Federation without, any reason. We can just leave. And I always thought that was the case. I always thought that you could just leave the Federation if you wanted to, because, I mean, what are they going to do? They can't make you stay, kind of thing. But she's like, no, we're not going to do that. And she's all like, well, then we aren't going to do this. And so Burnham, of course, stands up and she's like, hey, you guys, why don't we think about this, kind of thing? And they're like, all right, we'll take a break. And she's all like, something's going on here. So then back on the ship, Book is talking to the doctor, and he's like, the mind meld helped, but I'm still going through some stuff. And so the doctor, he brings up his, I can't remember what he called it. He spoke Spanish. It was very nice. It was only like one little line or whatever. I only took a semester of Spanish, but I love Spanish. It's such a beautiful language. I love when two people are talking and they're just like going back and forth. I'm like, oh, this is like music to my ears. Anyways, and he talks about his like grandfather and how he broke his thumb, kind of thing. I didn't write down this conversation. I'm sorry, you guys, but he's like, you want to work on this. He's like, only if I can keep my fingers. And I was like, that's funny. So then Saru, I forgot to mention, she sent over Cerulean tea. Cerulean. He's not a Cerulean. Is he a Cerulean? Oh, I can't remember right now. Sorry, you guys. I didn't write down every single thing. I apologize. It was some kind of like calming tea, I think it said, or peaceful tea. I don't remember. And it doesn't matter. And so they've got a flirtation going on. They are like digging each other. Although I don't think either one of them are attractive, but whatever. They seem lovely. So then he's all like, hey, what's going on here, kind of thing. And she's all like, there needs to be some kind of compromise. And so he's getting the clue, like something's happening and everything, which we find out later on there is something happening. And so she goes to the president. She's like, yo, what's going on here? We can't just abandon this. And she's like, if they're going to have this, we can't show signs of weakness. If we do this for one person, we have to do this for everybody. And what stops somebody coming in? And as soon as they don't like something, they get to leave, kind of thing, which I don't remember if that's the case. I thought that was always the case. If you if the Cardassians came in and then something happened, and they're like, no, we're going to war with you, Federation types. Sorry, bye. So then they decide that they're going to figure out what's going down. So then Tilly is on the planet and they're sitting there. They can't get a hold of Starfleet and they can't fly. So they're trying to figure stuff out. But then they get there's something headed their way. And it's this big, like these big creatures or whatever. They call them like squid creatures. I didn't get squid from it, but whatever. I kind of got like walking starfish kind of thing. It doesn't even matter what they are. So they kind of attack the ship, but not really because they don't do anything to it. And they realize that they are attracted to bioluminescence kind of thing. And the energy that their equipment and their ship gives off is what attracts them. That's how they see them. So they shut off all their equipment and then the creatures can't see them. So, and then they realize they got to get to this ridge for them to get their signal out to Starfleet. So the doctor got him working on this thing, but he gets mad because they've got that nanite technology or whatnot. And he's like, this is not the same as being on my planet, Quajon. You need the sands from this river, and you need this from this, and you need the tree sap of a whatever tree, or I can't remember all the ingredients. And he's like, it's not the same. And he's all like, you're never going to have that back because it's gone. It's gone. But he's like, but we can work on it kind of thing. So then the president of Navarre is meditating and Saru comes in and he's all like, basically like, I'm just checking in on my friend kind of thing. And so she sits down and she tells him that there's people in the Navarre people that have doubts about joining the Federation because they don't want to have it. God, I can't remember. Shoot. And I didn't write this part down. Oh, I hate myself. Okay. Sorry, we're just going to skip it. I can't remember. I'm sorry, you guys. It really wasn't that interesting. I'm telling you right now, this was such a boring episode. Like I was all like sloshing through. Oh, so then he asks her, will you teach me how to meditate? I have some things going through my mind that I need to focus on. And she's all like, yes, I'll teach you, I'll show you how to start because but they hold up their hands like this or whatnot. And then she's all like, we'll do this together, start off. And she's like, you have to close your eyes. And then he opens his eyes and she's like, you're not closing your eyes kind of thing. And there's obviously some flirtation going on. So good for them. I wonder if Saru / Doug Jones is going to leave the show. If he does, I'm going to be upset because you can't have all humans on this show. I have a problem with that. But anyways, so then she gets a hold of the president. She's like, what's going on here? And she's all like, we can't do this. But she's all like, she goes, we're going to leave. We can't do this kind of thing. And we can't show weakness, all this stuff. But then Michael Burnham's like, well, what if you had a third party come in? She's like, because this is political. It's all about votes. And what if you had a third vote? And the president's all like, what'd you have in mind? So then back on the planet, they're running towards the ridge, and they're running, and the creature pops up, and they're coming after him, kind of thing. Which I'm all like, oh, because there's a storm going on. There's a storm brewing. See that lightning right there? See that lightning? And the creatures are coming for him. Which I'm all like, I thought if their equipment's turned off, how are they tracking them? I thought it was bioluminescence. Do we give off bioluminescence as human beings? Anyways, so they're hunting them. And Adira gets shocked or by her feet and she gets frozen in place, which I'm all like, what? And the special effects on this were so stupid. And the acting, this actress is not very good. Blue Del Dorino. I don't remember. So they're gonna help out and they pull her along. So then they're sitting there, and so they're like kind of like upset because they're fighting or whatnot because this guy's all like, we need to fight him. The Orion kid is all like, we need to find a cave and hide, and they're kind of making fun of him for wanting to hide and everything. So then she's like, fine, we're gonna do this where we introduce each other now. And she's like, I'm all like, yeah, so you can get eaten in 2 minutes. So he's all like, I grew up in Orion's where they aborted my parents' ship and they took over kind of thing. And he's like, my grandmother died. I had to watch my grandmother starve to death, and then I had to bury her body because my parents couldn't do it because they gave up their food so I could eat. And he's all like, what about your dad, or whatever he says? And then he turns around and Adira comes in. He's like, his dad is so and so. He was an activist. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? This show is so like feeding into some nonsense kind of thing. I'm all like, and like he wanted to fight against the Emerald Chain and be nice to everybody, and died in a prison and didn't get to see all this come to fruition. Which I'm all like, listen, this would have been better if the episode wasn't so boring. So they're all friends. So then these two are sitting here and they're like, we have a compromise. Why don't we bring in an outside, you'll sign and you'll bring in an outside force to review the situation, and if Navarre doesn't feel, and then we'll address it then. And they're like, fine, but we would want someone from Navarre to be on that council to review stuff. And they're like, and the president's all like, well, that would negate it because it's supposed to be, like a outside force. And then Michael Burnham's all like, well, here's what could happen. Put me on that, and I'm a civilian of Navarre, because she, was adopted, and you guys can join the Federation, and everybody's happy. And so they agreed to it. So then on the ridge, they all get up there, but those creatures are coming. And this one, Adira, is all like, well, I'll run down there and I'll distract him while you guys get away. And I'm like, get out of here, Adira. Stop it. You're not strong enough for that. But then Tilly's not strong enough either. I don't get Tilly either. Like, but she's like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm the leader. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So then she goes down to the bottom of the ridge and she turns on her stuff. And then like they've got 60 seconds to get a hold of the ship and everything. So while they're doing that, the creature shows up and they start firing on it. And then they all get taken up into the ship. So then back at the academy, Cronenberg's all like, you did good. They're all communicating and everything. I read the notes and everything. Everything's great. If you ever want a job here, you got it, girl. And then Adira's all like, yeah, I think I made some new friends. And I'm like, yeah, you might have. I don't know. They might show up again. Who knows? Then they join. All is well. I'm sorry. This is. And then she asks Saru, she's like, would you like to have some calming tea with me? I'll give you some calming tea. And then Burnham's all like, you knew what was going to happen. Why are you playing? And she's all like, I got a feeling you got a little bit of politics in you, kind of thing. She's like, I was, the president of Navarre. She told me what was going to happen before it happened. So that's why I invited you, because I needed you to do this so we could have them join, because this will be helpful to us, Navarre, and the war and the universe, kind of thing. And she's all like, we're going to work together. Yeah. So then he's doing his little sand magic trick, and he's all like, he's basically like, you want to talk about your pain, your feelings, your trauma? And he's all like, not today. And he's like, it's going to take you a long ass time to get over your trauma. And listen, let's be honest, Book might never get over that. Everybody from, like, let's just pretend Earth blew up, but you were on a spaceship and you were the last one. You might never get over that crap. I don't think I could. So then Tilly's looking at this picture from season 1. And I think this, and listen, I don't know how true this is. I can swear I read something about how this actress was pregnant and she had a baby. That's why she gained a little weight. Not judging. I'm just saying that's why. And I think that's why she's like stepping away from the show. But she comes in and they'll like talk about how like she snore, and she's like, I kind of got used to it and everything. She's like, I want to go to the academy and teach, because she's like, you're leaving, aren't you? And she's like, yeah, I want to go over there and teach and everything. And she talks about her mother and how her mother was a diplomat and wanted her to be a diplomat. And she's like, I never wanted to. And I think that's why I wanted to, but then I got my little captain, lieutenant thingies. And I realized my mother is never going to see this kind of thing. So what does it matter? I can't remember. It doesn't, dude, I don't even fucking care. But she's like, I need to do this for me kind of thing. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, but I can record some snoring for you. And she's like, I didn't say I liked it. I said I was getting used to it and everything. And she leaves Adira her snow globe. She says goodbye to the doctor. It says all is possible. And she gets on the ship after saying goodbye. And then I love how Adira goes to the window and is all like smiling. And I'm like you can see her, like she can see you out of your one window. That's like right there or whatever. I'm like, this show. And then she blasts off into space, never to be seen again. I think Gray should go too, because didn't he wants to be a guardian, but he's got to be on Trill to do that crap. Like, yeah, he's got to go do that, like learn that stuff. After he learns the little body movements, he's got to go to Trill. Can't be a guardian on Enterprise. Anyways, so this was a fine send-off for Tilly. I used to really like the character of Tilly, but I don't like her anymore. I mean, I'm glad she's gone, because I honestly don't think that she's given anything to the show that's, in my opinion, substantial. But I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like this episode was so freaking, this is probably the most boring episode of this season, which says a lot. I just really, you guys, if you stick around for just a hot more second, I'll let you go, or you can just hit stop. But this show is driving me crazy. I really feel like this is going to be another Burn situation where it's going to be stupid. And you know what gets me about the Burn? And I know I bring it up a lot, but we've got the same situation here with the DMA. Is the Burn I thought was a decent idea, but then like I said, the execution was horrible. And I just go, like, the fan theories that I heard, even the worst ones were better than this. I heard one that I heard was from what was the name of that? The last episode of Generation, the best of both worlds, because there's like 3 enterprises or whatever that blow up. I can't remember the full theory, but that caused the Burn, because there was like something like a temporal flux or some crap like that. And I was like, ooh, that's a good idea, yo. I'm like, whoever came up with that's a good idea. But they didn't go with that idea. They didn't go with it. And I'm all like, they went with the kid crying out and blowing up the universe. And I'm all like, okay, well, it's very obvious these people don't know what they're doing, kind of thing. So I'm going to end this right now, you guys, because I have complained enough. I'm sorry, this video wasn't as good, but this episode was horrible. Sorry about all that junk in the back, working on some stuff. All right, listen, if you guys like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week, where hopefully it's a better episode of Star Trek Discovery. You guys have a good week. Live long and prosper. Bye.